Well, I think it's pretty clear that Mercedes hasn't been lying about its struggles. I think a lot of people, including myself, thought the team were struggling with issues such as porpoising in testing on the W13, but at the same time were sandbagging a bit. But what we have seen so far in practice for the season opener in Bahrain indicates the team just don't have the outright pace at the moment, and in this video I'm going to discuss what's going on with the team. So let's get into it. Now before we begin, if you enjoy the video make sure to leave a like and also subscribe for more Formula 1 content. But let's jump into it, and I think it's fair to say that Mercedes were not on the pace in testing, with the W13 struggling with oversteer and understeer through corners, while they also struggled to balance performance versus porpoising. But as I say, I expected them to unlock pace come the first Grand Prix weekend in Bahrain, but they really haven't shown a lot of speed in Friday practice. And in these sessions, even though teams may not show all their true potential, you're likely to see what the true pecking order is going to be at the same time, as teams will be setting more competitive and legit lap times than they would be in testing, so they are more prepared for qualifying and the race. So we'll start with practice 1, and George Russell finished in P4 and Lewis Hamilton was P7. Now first off, the conditions in FP1 aren't representative, as it's done during the day and qualifying and the race is at night. So whilst times would be more representative given its practice, they may not paint a fully accurate picture for what to expect later on in Bahrain. And what you also have to remember is that Hamilton was running with a revised and slightly heavier floor to try and combat porpoising, so he would have been slightly slower than normal. But still, Mercedes were nowhere in that session. What makes it worse is that the Mercedes drivers were using soft tyres to set their best times, whilst rivals Red Bull and Ferrari set their best times on the mediums. And both Scuderia drivers finished P2 and P3 in the session, and Max Verstappen took his RB18 to P5, and he definitely has a lot more time to find on that compound of tyre. So the fact Mercedes were using a faster tyre and struggled to go faster than rivals on a slower one isn't a great start to the weekend. So let's move on to practice 2, and track conditions were more representative to how it will be in qualifying and the race, given it was night time, and teams focused a lot more on their low fuel runs on the soft tyres in that session. But again, it wasn't a great session for the Silver Arrows, especially for Lewis Hamilton. He was struggling with the braking in that session, and his best time, which was set on the softs, only took him to P9. George Russell set a better time on the same compound of tyre to get his car into P4, but both Ferraris and Max Verstappen finished ahead of the Mercedes, with Max the only driver breaking into the 1:31 31s. The Mercedes again was struggling with porpoising during practice 2, and it didn't look as nice to drive as what the Ferrari and Red Bull cars did. So overall, it doesn't seem that Mercedes are really that competitive this weekend so far. It seems to be mainly with the porpoising, with the team trying to figure out how to maintain downforce and not have the W13 bouncing. You could see how badly it was affecting them, and we also saw it contributing to the car running wide in corners. And the team seems to be trying to resolve its issues this weekend so far, and if that's the case, then it could explain the poor lap times at the moment. But for me, if you have a competitive car, at this stage it will show, and right now the W13 doesn't look like a race-winning car. I mean, it certainly doesn't look slow, but Mercedes are just struggling to match rivals at the moment and unlock their full potential, and I'm not sure how they're going to be able to change that overnight. So it looks like they are behind this weekend, and overall it's not a good start to their championship. But guys, what do you think of the W13 at the moment? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care. Bye.